Good morning. Let's see if anybody hops on this morning. Happy Monday. First day of the week. So I'm just going to wait a few seconds to see if anybody's going to hop on. And then we'll get started with today's live. I actually feel, pretty good. Pretty rejuvenated. Slept a lot yesterday. I hope everyone's weekend was good. So this morning, having a nice hot drink, and we are celebrating day 3 of the Bimini retreat live stream. And today we're talking about how to take action on your goals. So take action on your goals. So first you figure out what your purpose is, and then you figure out, what's really holding me back, what's stopping me from living my purpose. And you really start to deal with those things. And a lot of the times it's mental, right? It's mental hurdles that get in your way. And then now the next thing is, okay, how do I actually take action on my goals? So I know what my goal is, and maybe I've set a few goals for myself, but I can't seem to stay consistent with them. And this is something that is very common. I see it all the time, and I definitely dealt with it myself in the past, is staying consistent on your goals. Because even though you want something, that doesn't mean it's at the forefront of your mind. We're all adults out here hustling in these streets. We have responsibilities, and so that takes a lot of our time, a lot of our energy. And if you listen to what other people have to say, whether it's society or sometimes people around you, and they're like, oh, you don't have enough time to do both, or you really should be spending more time doing this or doing that, or whatever, their opinion is, then you might be subconsciously being influenced by that. So I've got a few tips for you guys, and I'm gonna go ahead and drop in the comments right now a link that you can go grab your free PDF. Oops, that's the wrong one. You can go grab your free PDF. It's going to be 5. It's just questions for all 5 days. So to help walk you through everything that we've been talking about, and hold on a second. Okay, sorry. So like I was saying, you can go ahead, click the link, grab your free PDF. It has questions, self-reflection questions, and then I have bullet points of everything we're going through on the 5 days. So if you want to take a look at it, refresh your memory, or even, journal about it, you have that as a resource. So if you want that, go ahead and download it, just click the link. You can put in your email address and you can download it, and then you have that for the next 2 days, because we've got 2 more days, Tuesday and Wednesday at 8 a.m. So where I want to start with this is brainstorming the top 3 areas of your life is one place to start. Good morning. So, yes, brainstorm the top 3 areas of your life and brainstorm where you want to go in those areas over the next 6 months. For example, it could be healthy eating, your career, it could be, you want more energy, it could be a specific relationship you really want to nourish. And taking a look at those 3 areas and saying, okay, these areas are really important to me. They're not where I want them to be, and this is my focus. Because you can't focus on everything at once. And it would be great to be able to have all of it just kind of like transform at once, but like I said, we don't have that much time, that much energy to put into every area of our lives, especially if you work full time and all that kind of jazz, or have any sort of kind of responsibilities. Hi, Tay Tay. So, let's see. So yeah, start there, and that gives you a good place. Because say you have these 3 areas. Say they're, healthy eating, improving your energy, which may seem like the same thing, but to get more energy, you can do different things. You can work out, you can, maybe it's getting improved sleep. It's kind of just figuring out what's throwing your body out of balance. And then career, maybe you have a career goal. Maybe you want to apply for a new job, a different job. Maybe you want to do an internship. Maybe you want to, start your own business, whatever that is for you. Start a side hustle. Any of those things, you may have goals in those areas. And so by being able to set like 1 to 2 really important imminent goals, but goals that are obtainable in those areas, you're going to be able to start making progress. And the thing is, and the thing that people get so wrapped up with, which is why they don't make progress, is they stay in their head and they listen to their fears and they say, what if, what if, what if? Well, what if isn't going to get you anywhere. Like, even if you try something and you fall and you bust your face, well, it's okay. Like, you're supposed to learn. You're supposed to make mistakes, and that's the only way you're really going to learn what works for you and what doesn't, because being in your head and thinking about it all the time doesn't work. So, I'm drinking some vanilla chai tea. So tell me what you guys are drinking if you're drinking a hot beverage on Monday morning. Hi, Kendall. It's so warm, and I probably need some caffeine. So, okay. So you've visualized your 3 top areas of your life that are really important to you, that you really want to make shifts in. And my piece of advice for this is always to start with the areas that you think are going to make the biggest impact. So for me, I've always wanted to, be more fit and go to the gym. Not necessarily the gym, it doesn't have to be the gym. I just wanted to be more physically fit. But for me personally, that's not top priority, because it's more of like the healthy eating food. Like, the better I eat, the better I feel. And sometimes because I don't really enjoy working out. I don't really enjoy going to the gym and doing all this stuff and workouts and whatever. Whether it works for me or not, I just don't enjoy it. So for me, it's better to focus on, my career and where I want that to go, because it brings me fulfillment and joy and finances, obviously. And then also, like, healthy eating is one of the main things I'm focusing on for the next few months, because I want to get my energy up. I want to just like feel so good. And when you eat plant-based foods, that's what works for most people, because plant-based foods have all those micronutrients. But for me specifically, things like more fruit, like acai bowls, and or any kind of smoothie bowl, smoothies, juices. I want to do more juices for sure. So, it's better for me to start with those things, and then once I have like got the momentum going, and I have a little more free time, then I'd be like, okay, well, for me particularly, and I said this in I think yesterday's live, is for me when I visualize the highest version of myself, and I visualize what it would be to be physically fit. I imagine like going paddleboarding, going snorkeling, like rock climbing, like things that are like physical, but you're having fun, so you're not thinking about it. I love dancing, so I want to do more dancing, whether that's dance fitness classes or like ballroom classes and things like that. That's when I would start to incorporate those things. So that's just an example for you guys how to prioritize the goals that you have and where to start. And then after you do that, be intentional and visualize what you want these areas to look like. And I say that because if you want something sometimes, but if you don't believe you can have it, you're not going to have it. And that's why meditation and visualization is so important. I've made vision boards, and maybe this is something like, comment below if you want me to do a live on this, on vision boards. Because we were planning on doing that pretty soon, myself and a few of my friends. And, the things on my vision board have come true. And it sounds woo-woo if you're not really, into this stuff, but it's not, I promise. It's just that when you see it all the time, it affects you subconsciously, because either you're visualizing yourself doing it. It's like, say my goal is to travel, right? Say it's to travel to Belize. We're planning a trip to Belize. So say I put on my vision board Belize 2019, and maybe I put pictures from like those areas and things like that. And so yeah, I'm looking at that every day. All of a sudden in my mind, I'm visualizing myself in Belize, whether it's relaxing or doing activity or whatever. And then in my mind I go, okay, I want to go to Belize this year. How do I get to Belize? What do I need to get to Belize? Do I need to make the extra money? Do I just need to save the money? Do I need to plan the trip? Do I need to put aside time to plan the trip? You start all of a sudden thinking about these things, and then it motivates you and it inspires you to start taking action steps towards those goals. That's why I'm always about visualization. So I talked about prioritizing the most important goal, because we only have so much energy in the day. Comment what you guys are drinking this morning. Okay. So next thing, and I mentioned this a little bit earlier, is to set obtainable goals. And that's because if you set a goal and it's giant and it's way too big, and then you don't end up achieving it, you're going to be very discouraged, and then you're so much less likely to follow through on that goal or even another goal. And this is just so common. I'm sure you can think of something, whether it was like, say, just sticking to a healthy diet, and you set a goal of eating clean for the entire week, but your habits aren't up to par with your goal. So your goal is to eat clean for 1 week, but you still got Skittles and M&Ms and juice in the fridge. You're so going to be likely to reach for those things. And even if you're not, who's to say you won't be tempted when you go out to reach for those things? So maybe if that's not an obtainable goal for you, you would say, okay, my goal for this week is to incorporate one or two new alternatives. So instead of saying, you're trying to just cut everything out at once, maybe you can replace the juice with like fruit infused water. Or, if you really like to snack a lot, get a healthy version of a snack so that you can have that in the house, get rid of the old stuff. So when you want to reach for something, that's what you're reaching for. So setting up obtainable goals is definitely one of the major steps in getting you to take action on your goals, because you want to start building that momentum. And let's see. Okay, so the next one, I didn't number them, so I don't know what number I'm on, is get an accountability. I can't talk. It's too early. Get an accountability partner or coach. And this is so important because we all need accountability. I mean, think about it. Why do people get personal trainers? Why do people go to school? All of these things because, yes, some people have the willpower and, honestly, all of us have the willpower if we really to put our mind to it, to do something on our own. Whether it's learn it on our own, like reading books or doing our own research or whatever, but or just going out and doing a workout on your own. But one thing to keep in mind is that everybody needs help in at least one area. Because if you think about all your areas as 12 different areas of your life, you have relationships, you have healthy eating, home environment, career, finances, all of these different areas of your life. You may be great in a few of them. You may be fine, like, oh, I'm so on point, that money, every week I get my paycheck, it goes straight into my savings. Great. But then the other area of your life, you may really be struggling in. Maybe that's relationships and you just need help with that. So either getting an accountability partner, which is, it could be a friend, it could be a coworker, whatever, family member, somebody who knows you, who can give you good constructive feedback. Feedback that is constructive is very important. Good feedback that you can take into consideration, but is not going to kind of bring you down, and then help keep you on track. Like if you want to use the example of the working out, say you go work out with your friend and she's a personal trainer. I'm sure that's going to keep you on track because she's probably going to be on your butt about it. So that's just an example. But then also, a coach is a great option because they know what they're doing in that area, and sometimes you just need that help. I have also invested in my own coaches, and I would say it's amazing. It's definitely been life-changing for me to invest in coaching. And then the last step is create an action step. So even if you know your goal, and even if you have a plan in your mind, not necessarily a plan on paper, of what you want to do, if you want to make steady progress and really go somewhere with it, you have to put a deadline to it. So you have to write it down, make an action plan. So if it again was, go back to the example of healthy eating, if it was you want to make a health transformation over the next 3 months, and you start by incorporating alternatives and like swapping out your juice for fruit infused water, well then you can't just, if you want to make that transformation, you can't just stick to that only. You have to start making different steps. So then maybe 2 weeks from then you would incorporate some more meals with some more vegetables, and then continue to maybe do like a deep clean of your kitchen cabinet and get rid of all the junk. and so on and so forth. Maybe swap out, your creamer for almond milk. Put in the comment below what everyone's drinking. I'm drinking some chai tea this morning. So yeah, the last step would definitely be that, to create an action plan to hold yourself accountable, and it also kicks procrastination in the butt, because if you're going to take the time to write down exactly what you want to do, you're thinking through, this is what I have to do, but also, like, this is when I really need to do it by, and then set that date a little ahead of time, maybe like a week or 2 weeks ahead of time, so you give yourself a little bit of room if you procrastinate, or it just doesn't happen for whatever reason. I mean, we're all living real life, and things come up, things happen. So let's see, any takeaway points. Everything that I've covered so far. So unrealistic goals are pretty much dream killers. So keep your goals obtainable and realistic, and you can definitely bump up your game as you're going along, but just be honest with yourself. You're the person that knows you the best. If you want to stick to some sort of regimen, whatever that is, or a schedule, or an action plan, no one's going to know you better than you, but you have to be honest with yourself. And sometimes that's hard because it can be emotional when, you're dealing with guilt or shame, or, fear of failure. But if you try and come from a place of being open, honest, kind of like if you're coming to someone else in your relationship. Say you're talking to your best friend, and you have to have a good conversation with them. Be like, look, this is where we're at, but this is where I'd like to go. And, yes, you're cordial, yes, you're kind, but you're going to communicate and be open and honest about where you guys are at and where you want to go. Well, it's almost kind of the same thing for yourself, and that's why I talk about self-love a lot, is because it's not about, I guess, I don't know, it's not no kind of like woo-woo stuff. It's just about really like treating yourself well, caring for yourself the way you would care for somebody else, and knowing yourself enough to be disciplined and to be proactive, so that you can pursue your goals. Because once you start pursuing your goals, it's going to bring you so much more joy and fulfillment, so many other things. I mean, we all set goals, right? Why do we set goals? Because we want to achieve something. A goal is basically just your dream with a deadline. So, that's all I have for you guys this morning. I hope that one was helpful for you. If you missed the beginning, you should be able to just go ahead and check out the video after. And I will see you guys tomorrow at 8 a.m. So today was how to take action in your goals. Tomorrow's going to be how to prep for your self-love journey, which is essentially about, okay, you want to, pursue your goals, but how are you actually going to make sure you're staying balanced, taking care of yourself while you're doing that? And self-love means so many different things to different people. It could just mean staying sane and getting enough sleep. It could mean having enough energy. It could mean, having some mental space where you go and journal, or figure out like where you're at, deal with your emotions, deal with your fears, all of these things. And then day 5, which is Wednesday, is going to be how to know if you're ready to take action. So with that being said, that's all I have for you guys, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.